안녕하십니까? 궤도인 100일의 기적 2일차입니다. 시작하기에 앞서 안내사항 몇 가지를 말씀드리겠습니다. 첫째, 하루에 10분이라도 좋습니다. 매일 꾸준히 해주십시오. 둘째, 원어민의 목소리를 그대로 흉내내 주십시오. 셋째, 한국어 뜻은 신경 쓰지 마시고 그냥 소리에 집중하십시오. 넷째, 하실 때마다 녹음하십시오. 녹음은 긴장감을 고조시키고 또 나중에 여러분의 향상 정도를 직접 확인하실 수 있습니다. 다섯째, 10분 이상 쉐도잉을 하신 분은 댓글을 달아주십시오. 댓글 형식은 시행 일자, 쉐도잉 시간, 녹음 여부를 입력하시면 됩니다. 같은 내용을 연이어 또는 가끔 반복하겠습니다. 저를 믿고 무작정 100일간 계속하시면 여러분의 영어가 몰라보게 유창해질 것입니다. 자, 그럼 지금부터 힘차게 시작하겠습니다.
A poor boy's love for a rich girl. There was a boy named Tom. He lived in a small house at the edge of a big city. Tom's family was poor. His father worked as a carpenter, and his mother stayed home to take care of the children. They did not have much, but they had love and hope. Every morning Tom went to school. He walked past the big houses in the rich part of the city. He always dreamed of living in one of those houses. But he knew it was just a dream. One day at school, Tom met a new student. Her name was Emily. She was beautiful, with long brown hair and bright green eyes. Emily was different from the other students. She was kind and always smiled. Tom liked her from the first moment he saw her. Emily's family was very rich. She came to school in a shiny black car. Her clothes were new and expensive. Tom felt shy around her. He thought she would never talk to a boy like him. But one day, something happened that changed everything. After school, Tom saw Emily sitting alone on a bench. She looked sad. Tom wanted to help, so he walked up to her. "Are you okay?" he asked. Emily looked up and smiled. "I'm fine," she said softly. But Tom could see that she was not fine. That day, they started talking. Tom made her laugh, and for the first time, Emily felt happy. They became friends. Tom knew he was falling in love with her, but he did not tell her. He thought she would not feel the same. He was just a poor boy, and she was a rich girl. This is just the beginning of their story. What will happen next? Tom and Emily started spending more time together. After school, they would sit under the big oak tree in the park and talk for hours. Emily shared stories about her life, and Tom listened carefully. She told him about the big house she lived in, her many toys, and her travels to other countries. But she also told him something that surprised him. "I feel lonely," Emily said one day. Tom was shocked. "How can you feel lonely?" "You have everything," he said. Emily looked at him and smiled sadly. "I have things, Tom, but I don't have real friends. People want to be near me because of my money, not because of who I am." Tom felt sorry for her. He wanted to tell her that he cared about her, not her money. But he was too scared. What if she didn't feel the same way? One day, Emily invited Tom to her house. Tom was nervous. He had never been inside a house so big. The floors were shiny, the walls were decorated with paintings, and there was even a swimming pool in the backyard. Tom felt out of place, but Emily made him feel welcome. They sat in the garden and talked. Tom told Emily about his dreams. "I want to be an artist," he said. Emily's eyes lit up. That's wonderful. You should never give up on your dreams, she said. Her words gave Tom hope. As the days passed, Tom's feelings for Emily grew stronger. He wanted to tell her how he felt, but he didn't know how. He was afraid of losing her friendship, so he kept his feelings to himself, even though it was hard. But Tom didn't know that Emily had her own feelings. She admired Tom's kindness, his honesty, and the way he looked at the world. She started to feel something special for him, too. But she was also afraid to speak. Their story was only just beginning. What would happen if they told each other the truth? One sunny afternoon, Emily and Tom walked through the park together. The birds were singing, and the warm breeze carried the scent of flowers. Tom held a small sketchbook in his hands. "I want to show you something," he said, his voice trembling a little. Emily sat down on the grass, curious. Tom opened the sketchbook, revealing pages filled with beautiful drawings. There were trees, rivers, and even a picture of the park's big oak tree. But what caught Emily's eye was a drawing of her. She stared at it, speechless. "Do you like it?" Tom asked, nervously. Emily smiled brightly. "It's beautiful." "I didn't know you could draw like this," she said. Tom blushed. "I drew it because you're special to me," he said softly. Emily looked at Tom, her heart beating fast. She felt her cheeks turn red. "Tom," she said, "you're special to me too." They sat there in silence for a moment, both feeling a mix of happiness and fear. But their happiness didn't last long. The next day, Emily's father found out about her friendship with Tom. He was a strict man who believed that rich and poor people should not mix. He told Emily to stop seeing Tom. "He's not good enough for you," her father said firmly. Emily felt heartbroken. "But he's my friend," she cried. Her father didn't listen. He took away her phone and told her to focus on her studies. Emily felt trapped, but she didn't want to give up on Tom. Tom noticed that Emily stopped coming to the park. He waited for her every day under the big oak tree, but she never showed up. He felt lost and confused. Had she forgotten about him? Had he done something wrong? The days turned into weeks, and Tom's heart grew heavier. But he refused to believe that Emily didn't care about him. He decided to do something brave. He would go to her house and find out the truth. Tom stood outside Emily's grand house, his heart pounding. The tall iron gates and the long driveway made him feel small. He hesitated, but his love for Emily gave him courage. He pressed the doorbell and waited. A servant opened the door and looked at him curiously. "Who are you?" the servant asked. "I'm here to see Emily," Tom said confidently. The servant frowned but went inside to deliver the message. Moments later, Emily appeared at the door. "Tom," she whispered, her eyes wide with surprise. She stepped outside quickly, closing the door behind her. "What are you doing here? If my father sees you, he'll be furious," she said, her voice filled with worry. "I needed to see you," Tom said. "I've been waiting for you every day. Did I do something wrong?" Emily's eyes filled with tears. "No, Tom. You did nothing wrong. My father won't let me see you. He thinks we are too different," she explained. Tom felt a wave of anger and sadness. But that's not fair. We care about each other. Why should that matter? He said. Emily looked down, unable to answer. I don't know what to do, she whispered. Tom reached for her hand. We can't give up, Emily. I'll find a way. I'll prove to your father that I'm worthy, he said firmly. Emily looked into his eyes and saw his determination. I believe in you, Tom, she said softly. The next day, Tom decided to work harder than ever. He took on extra jobs and saved every penny he earned. He wanted to show Emily's father that he was responsible and hard-working. Months passed, and Tom's efforts did not go unnoticed. Emily secretly wrote letters to Tom, encouraging him and sharing her feelings. She hid the letters under a rock near the big oak tree, where Tom would find them. It became their secret way of staying connected. But one day, Emily's father discovered one of the letters. His anger erupted like a storm. You've been lying to me, Emily, he shouted. He decided to take drastic action to keep her away from Tom. Emily's father decided to send her away. He arranged for her to live with relatives in another city. Emily begged him to reconsider. Please, Father, don't do this, she cried. But he refused to listen. It's for your own good, Emily. You'll forget about that boy, he said coldly. The day Emily left was the hardest for both her and Tom. She wanted to tell him, but her father didn't allow her to leave the house. From her window, she watched the streets, hoping to catch one last glimpse of Tom. Tom, unaware of what had happened, went to the oak tree as usual. He found no letter waiting for him. His heart sank. Days turned into weeks, and still, there was no word from Emily. He began to fear the worst. Meanwhile, Emily's new life was lonely. She missed Tom every day. She wrote letters but had no way to send them. She spent her nights looking at the stars, wondering if Tom was looking at them too. Tom didn't give up. He asked people in the town if they had seen Emily. One day, he overheard two men talking about a young woman who had been sent away. He listened carefully and learned where Emily had gone. His heart filled with hope. With the little money he had saved, Tom prepared for the journey. It wasn't easy, but he was determined to find Emily. He walked for miles, hitchhiked with strangers, and even slept under the stars. His love for Emily kept him moving. When Tom finally reached the city, he searched everywhere for her. He asked strangers, knocked on doors, and looked in parks. He refused to give up. Emily is here and I'll find her, he told himself. After weeks of searching, Tom saw her. She was sitting on a bench in a small garden, looking sad and lost in thought. His heart raced as he approached her. Emily, he said softly. She turned and saw him, her eyes filling with tears. Emily couldn't believe her eyes. Tom, she cried, running into his arms. They held each other tightly as if they were afraid to let go. Tears streamed down their faces, but this time they were tears of happiness. I looked everywhere for you, Tom said. I couldn't live without you. I had to find you. Emily nodded, unable to speak through her sobs. She had waited so long for this moment, and now Tom was here. They sat on the bench, talking for hours. Emily told Tom about her father's decision and how she had dreamed of him every night. Tom shared the story of his journey to find her. They both knew their love was stronger than ever, but they also knew their problems weren't over. Emily's father would never approve of Tom, and they couldn't stay in the city for long. "What shall we do, Tom?" Emily asked. He took her hand and said, "We'll build a new life together somewhere far from here. I'll work hard, and we'll be happy." Emily hesitated for a moment. Leaving her family would be difficult, but she couldn't imagine a life without Tom. "Yes," she said. "Let's start over together." That night, under the stars, they made a promise to each other. They promised to face every challenge together and to never let anything come between them again. Their love was their strength, and they believed it would guide them through any storm. The next day, they left the city hand in hand, ready to begin their new life. They didn't have much, but they had each other, and that was enough. As they walked into the unknown, they felt hopeful for the future. Their journey wasn't easy, but their love carried them through. Together, they built a small home, found work, and started a family. They never forgot the struggles they had faced, but those challenges only made their bond stronger. Tom and Emily's love story became a legend in the town they settled in. People spoke of the poor boy and the rich girl who defied all odds to be together. And though life wasn't perfect, Tom and Emily knew they had found something rare and precious, a love that could overcome anything.
수고 많으셨습니다. 오늘의 성의 있는 입 근육 훈련이 98일 뒤에 여러분의 유창한 영어를 보장할 것입니다. 유익하셨다면 구독, 좋아요 클릭해 주시고 궤도잉 완료 댓글 꼭 부탁드립니다. 감사합니다.